How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to talk about the long-term usage of this Ecovacs T80 Omni. Many times when I do any kind of reviews, including these robotic vacuums, I look over the specs, I run it a few times, and it looks good on paper, at least for the first few runs. But for long-term usage, you might be wondering how reliable it is. How much maintenance does it require? How much intervention does it require to keep it running? And then I'll go over things I didn't expect from this product, its limitations, and if it generally reduces cleaning effort at all. For reliability over time, there are other top tier vacuum cleaners that are not as reliable, and I'm basing this on my personal experience and comments that I see on my videos. There are so many points of failure. A pump could fail, the heating element could fail, one of the many motors could fail, and some brands are more reliable than others. And out of all the Ecovac vacuums that I've tested, I haven't had an issue with them where I had to return it and get a new one. The reliability overall is very good. Maintenance-wise, the most common thing that you're gonna have to do is to add clean water. And when it finishes, you have to empty the dirty water in a timely manner. I've actually forgotten, and you leave the dirty water in here, it starts to build up like a layer of scum inside. Remember to dump it out after it does this thing. So it's not completely hands-free because of this water thing. For the vacuum bag that's in here, you can use this many times before the vacuum bag will fill up. And when you remove it, you just pull this out. It's sealed and you just toss this away. That would mean you have to buy these vacuum bags, right? There are other consumables that can get used up, such as the side brush, the main brush, or the roller mop. It also features their blast suction power, which can go up to 18,000 pascals of suction. This allows it to suck up heavy debris and even pull embedded sand inside carpets. It also features their ZeroTangle 2.0 technology, which uses this sharp comb to detangle your brushes every single rotation. If I put in some long hair while it's running, eventually it pulls it all out. If I go into the vacuum cleaner, the T80 Omni, on the upper right corner there's a gear sign. I'll select that. In the middle there's maintenance. I'm going to select that. You can see I still have 114 hours left on the filter. I haven't had to change that yet. The roller mop has 146 hours, side brush 140 hours, anti-tangle main brush 293 hours. The dust bag is good. It feels like about 3/4 full right now. Ecovacs cleaning solution, which you don't really add right here. You add inside the clean water tank. Other components says it has 20 hours left, which is basically just cleaning around the camera and sensor area. The dust could build up on it. The robot dirty water box needs to be cleaned once in a while. This is actually in the front over here. This doesn't need to be replaced on its own. You just got to clean it out. And also the drip tray for the mop. The main brush, the roller mop, and also the side brush all have over 100 hours of remaining life on it. And realistically, if I let my robot loose in the entire first floor, it takes about 60-70 minutes to clean the whole thing. So it uses 1 hour up of that. I purposely used it every other day just to really get a lot of usage in. And realistically, you might run it once a week. That means all those components on there is gonna last about 2 years. If you run it twice a week, it's gonna last about 1 year. Now let's talk about interventions that's required. When I first got this robot, because I've been using previous generation robots and it always gets stuck on something, I tended to isolate it to only clean in the kitchen area. But for this particular robot, I just let it loose everywhere in the house without cleaning up anything. So I have cables everywhere, there's stuff everywhere. Another area where it gets stuck is this side table where the width is just slightly smaller than this robot. It kind of wedged itself inside there, and once it's there it couldn't get out, and it threw an error and told me, hey, it's stuck. So I took a screenshot of this map that it created of my entire first floor. Room 2 is the living room, room 3 is the dining room, room 5 is actually the hallway, room 1 is the kitchen, room 3 is the bathroom, which it correctly identified. You can see the white lines where it traced out where it went. It basically went everywhere that it could because there's a lot of furniture, a lot of boxes around, and I did not bother to clean it up. I just want to throw everything at it at this vacuum and see if it can just manage on its own. It turned out really great actually, because even though I have some extension cables laying on the floor, it would actually roll over those. It didn't get caught in them. And if you take a look at this route trace of this dining area, it actually went around the legs of the chairs, the legs of the table. So it's not vacuuming every little crevice there is, but the robot did go around all the legs. And in this new route trace, room 2 is the living room, and towards the left there's a towel area which I typically use for testing, and it actually went over there and mopped everything. And at least for me, I like things to be fairly quiet. I don't like to have a robot around making vacuum sounds everywhere when I'm wandering the whole first floor. So after running it for a while, I have this habit of not running it when I'm at home. When I'm out somewhere, I pull up the app and I say, okay, just start your vacuuming. It would do it on its own when I'm not in the house, and when I come back, it's done with its thing. It's not making any noise at all while I'm there. So being able to activate it when you're not at home is a really great feature. Let's take a look at the cleaning logs where I intensively use this machine at least once every other day. So I have 4 days of usage out of 7 days, and every single time I'm running at 81 minutes, 59 minutes, 84 minutes, 81 minutes. This is cleaning the entire first floor. And you can see how much of it has cleaned. 193 square foot, 225 square foot, 419 square foot, 365 square foot. There's a little bit of learning curve to learn where this machine would get stuck. Once you remove those special corner cases, then it can also clean the entire place on its own for you. I did not pick up any extension cables I have laying around. I did not move any chairs, especially for this robot. So the fact that it can navigate around those things on its own, it's a very unexpected and positive thing. Question now is, does it reduce cleaning effort? I would say overall, yes, of course it does. Sometimes in a tiled area, there might be crevices in between the tiles. The best way to use this robot is run it often, maybe every other day, once a week or something. And once in a while, you still need to do a deep cleaning by hand. Maybe you have to mop the kitchen corners very, very well and mop inside that grout area. That's not something this robot can do. So you still need to spot clean it once in a while. This particular robot is actually something I would leave in the kitchen going forward and just let it clean my entire first floor once in a while. It does a very reasonable job, and I would recommend it for people looking for a budget-friendly robotic vacuum. The T80 is designed for people that wants a powerful everyday mopping for hard floors, light stains, and daily messes at a reasonable price point. It's more for people that wants to lessen their time vacuuming and mopping. It may not remove the chore completely, since you might have to go back and do some deep cleaning, such as mopping in the crevices or vacuuming in areas where the robot cannot reach. The biggest strength I think this robot has is in the Ozmo roller, where it can pick up heavy sauces in one pass. If you look at other dual spinning mops, it just kind of smears it across the entire floor. This one has the Ozmo roller where it would continuously clean itself. It's also able to avoid a lot of obstacles, such as cables laying on the floor, going around the table legs and also the chair legs. And if it has like a little runway, at least the width of the robot, it can go through that and clean up another area on the other side. Now I'm going to talk about some slight issues that you may or may not encounter. During testing, when I was mopping an area that's less than 5 foot by 5 foot, it would do the perimeter just fine, but it did not completely fill out the entire area with a grid, therefore missing some parts of the floor. This is not an issue if the floor is a bit bigger, such as in my kitchen area. Also, you may not have noticed this, but when you mop sauces that are really, really high, like maybe 3 millimeters or taller, this robot does not lift the center brushes when it's doing the mopping. So when you have sauces that's a little bit too tall, it might get scraped by this little seal in the center brush here. So for best results, any kind of stain should be less than a millimeter tall off the floor. It shouldn't be kind of like a big mound, maybe like an inch tall. Your camera is probably going to even get dirty. I hope this video was enlightening in terms of the long-term use of these robotic vacuums. You never know how it really behaves until you actually get it. If you guys are interested in getting this very budget-friendly Ecovacs T80 Omni, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.